Rhode Island's records of originium, Blacksteel, aka the steel blade and shield that pierced the Black Knight, aka the Blacksteel Manga, is a fantastic short story that takes place in the world of Arknights. Is it the greatest story ever told by Arknights? No, I don't believe so. It's not even the best Arknights manga. That title would undoubtedly go to the Rhine Labs manga. But even still, you should read the Blacksteel manga now! The story, while being rather simple, is extremely enjoyable and primarily focuses on the relationship between Franka and Lishcom. And that is of course what I want to focus this video on, at least as it pertains to the manga. Now, I don't want to turn this into a video about why Franka and Lishcom are in fact a super canon ship and that you should be shipping them as well. But I am asking you to come on this journey with me while we talk about this manga, and I throw in a little bit of spice that is Franka x Lishcom. I do of course ship this, but that is irrelevant to the quality of this manga. Also, shout out to my man Nun KA. He has in fact provided the goods promised in my last video, and it can be found on his Reddit account. So before we get into the story, I just want to make this clear, and that is that you should go read the manga now. Yes, this is the second time I've used this joke in the last minute, but this time it isn't to title drop the video. The manga is in total 5 chapters long. Yes, it does have a prologue and 3 bonus chapters, but you don't need them for the story. At your dead ease, it's taking you half an hour to read 1 chapter, and that's counting for time, oohing and ahhing at the art. Also, it's free on the website, so you don't even have to buy the manga. You don't have to go onto Amazon, click buy, wait a few days to get it shipped to your house. It's just there on the website for free to enjoy, and that makes it even more worthwhile to read. And while you're at it, while you're there, read the cooking manga and read the Rhine Labs manga. So the story focuses on the beginning stages of the Blacksteel Rhode Island partnership. Rhode Island of course requires no introduction, but if you somehow stumble upon this video with absolutely no knowledge of Arknights, hello Sean, it is a pharmaceutical company primarily focusing on the treatment of the infected and of course war crimes. Blacksteel is a private mercenary group from definitely not America, Colombia. Our girls, Franka, Lishcom, Jessica and Vanilla, are the designated liaison group from Blacksteel. Why has this mercenary group decided to join with the war crime group? Well, Franka has been infected, and we get to see how. She got caught up in an enemy attack during a routine mission, and despite surviving and rescuing her teammate, she was infected during the process. In the aftermath of this, she is treated by a Rhode Island team in the field and gets the idea of forming a partnership with Rhode Island after witnessing the treatment of an infected co-worker at the hands of non-infected co-workers. She originally intends to travel to Rhode Island with just Vanilla, but that idea falls true due to Lishcom's interference. Lishcom, in a very normal moment, refuses to allow Franka to leave her side and tracks her down, arriving at Rhode Island even before she does. This is of course an exceedingly heterosexual thing to do, and they quickly settle into their lives at Rhode Island. But the underlying issue between the two is causing conflict among the team. Jessica, who is training under Lishcom, notices something is off with her. Jessica tries to do something nice for her by giving her a present, a new holster, but ends up being so obsessed with pleasing Lishcom that she makes a critical error during training. This results in Lishcom chewing her out, and Jessica ends up crying as a result. Franka, of course, is observing the situation from the sidelines and delivers Jessica's gift to Lishcom, reminding her that she should be kinder to her juniors, and this gets Lishcom to apologize to Jessica. But unfortunately, the time has arrived for Lishcom to confront Franka about her infection. We learn that Lishcom blames herself for Franka getting infected. She was injured on a previous mission and was not present the day Franka suffered her attack, which resulted in her infection. Vanilla walks in the two discussing this, and Lishcom, in a very sensible moment, tases her junior. Following this, we learn a little about how the two first met. Lishcom was her usual strict self, while Franca hit her with that patented smug fox routine, the two quickly settling into the roles that we know them to have in the current story. They even go as far as sharing their dreams with each other. Liscombe's dream is to set up a mercenary group of her very own to help those who can't help themselves. Franca's dream is not so selfless. She just simply wishes to travel the world and see all there is to see. Pretty weird that I would add this in right now, isn't it? But I do have my reasons that will play in a little bit later. Liscombe is pretty obsessed with making sure Franca is okay, going so far as to demand that she steps down as head of the Blacksteel group in Rhodes Island and to focus on her treatment. Franca reminds Liscombe that at Rhodes Island both infected and uninfected are treated with respect and allowed to live as they please. She does, however, propose that the two settle their differences in a 1v1 fight. If Liscombe wins, she will get her way, but if Franca wins, things will continue exactly as they have. Liscombe is of course okay with this and immediately decides to fight Franca. Liscombe of course holds back against Franca as she is worried about worsening her infection. Liscombe doesn't fear or hate the infected and in fact wants to help them so much that they basically won't be able to live a proper life. Franca of course takes exception to this and begins to berate Liscombe for her babying view of the infected. Franca tells Liscombe that unlike herself, who is the infected person in the situation, it is Liscombe who's unable to accept the reality of their situation. Franca promptly pins Liscombe to the floor, and the two have a not at all lesbian moment where they open up to each other about their feelings. The two finally reach an understanding and have a sit down with each other after a bit more training that completely destroys the training room. Franca at this point decides to do a little bit of trolling to remind Liscombe that she is in fact all about that troll life. She lies down and goes to sleep. While Franca is doing this bit of trolling, Liscombe decides that she wants to say her piece to Franca. She tells her that she is more than willing to put her own dream on hold to travel the world with Franca. Just then, Jessica and Vanilla charge into the room. Liscombe tries to defuse the situation to allow Franca to sleep. The girls begin panicking after seeing the sleeping Franca, fearing that her infection has worsened. Liscombe is stressing, trying to control the situation, but this just causes Franca to break character and begin to laugh. The story pretty much wraps up on the girls coming to this understanding between each other, with Vanilla and Jessica more than willing to work under the now infected Franca. The four girls decide they will continue their relationship into the future without any hassle. And that concludes my brief delve into the Blacksteel manga. It is an exceedingly enjoyable story and I really enjoy reading it, and I've in fact read it several times at this point because that moment between Franca and Liscombe really is just perfection. I deeply enjoy reading it. It's just really nice to see two characters come together like that. The manga also gets to show off a little bit of the day-to-day life of the infected, with Franca describing herself as a walking jar of pills. I hope we get to see that further in the future, hopefully in another manga. I have in fact seen some of the manga panels from the Angelina manga, which is currently ongoing, and it seems that they do address the lives of the infected in that as well, so I'm extremely excited to read that when it drops on the website. But that is about it. I'm going to talk to y'all later. Be good people, signing out. Anyway, this was meant to come out before the second season of the anime, but I'm glad it didn't because my goodness, look at this Cal set. I needed to step on me.